I was not introduced by the moderator, but my name is from ACK. I'm an assistant coordinator, Miyake. Hello to everyone. Today we have 4 guest speakers on the stage. They are all involved in very interesting programs and projects. First, we will have presentations about their projects, starting from Rebecca. Rebecca, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Well, first, I would like to say how happy I am to talk with you today and to exchange with all of the guests here. I would like to thank in advance the translator, who is going to do a hard work on trying to make my words accessible to everybody. The institution that I run, the Fondation Lafayette Anticipations, is in the heart of Paris, in the Marais. And it's an institution that I run for 4 years now, and that has been trying to think about what could be the institution of the 21st century. What could be a place that is hosting different views, different perspectives on the world, different ways of building it, and different ways of inhabiting it. I believe that artists, if we wanted so, could have a much more central role in our societies. And I think that we all believe around these tables, and maybe you as well, that art, if it was more central, could really benefit the society in its transformation. So I will just run like a few projects that we've done very superficially, but I will try then in the second phase during the conversation to go more in depth about what we're trying to do in this place. First, this place was designed by, this is a quote, but that's what I just said. The place was designed by Emre Koolhaas, and what you're seeing there is actually platforms that I will show you, that here can go up and down and transform the building as much as we want it. And I see that as an allegory of the projects that are presented by the artists in our place, which means that every artist has a new world and is transforming us with their project. This allows supposedly 49 different positions or ways of doing the space, but we can actually do many more. The program that we're doing is a program that focuses on French and international young emerging artists, and we're trying every time to develop new perspective on the world, as I was telling you. Here you see a few projects that we've done, but I will just stop on a few of them to get you an understanding of what we're doing. So Lina Lapellite here in the center was proposing for 8 weeks a choral, a choir, that was made of people who can't sing, who sing really badly. The idea with this project was actually to think about what we consider beauty and how do we understand the voice and silences that we give to people in society. Those people who can't sing were really singing horribly, I swear, but by the end of the 8 weeks we're starting to sing really well, actually, and in harmony. The project of Cyprien Gaillard here was a project that questioned the idea of can an act of restoration be an act of creation. So what you're seeing on this is the Defender of Time, a public sculpture that was stopped for more than 20 years, and his project was to give all of his exhibition budget to this work, to restore it and to make it available to the public 100 meters away from the foundation again. Here, Au-delà was an exhibition about the rituals and the disappearance of rituals in our societies, but how rituals are important to tie us together and how they've been absolutely essential to think about what we give meaning and value to. This exhibition by Paul Taburet was an exhibition that was focusing on the intimate reality, on how dreams, fantasies are absolutely vital to understand the way we build our own worlds. And so this artist was inviting us within an odyssey into one's way of seeing the world. The project Ici Wood that we have at the moment is a project by this English painter. It's called Study for No. And it's a whole project about the power and the strength of the word no. But how do we listen to it, or how are we not listening to it, depending on who says it and who performs it. The project of Hakim Smith here in the middle is a project about memory. Hakim Smith has been doing collections of the dancehall culture in Jamaica, a culture that has never been recognized as worthy by the institutions. He now has hours and hours and hours of VHS recordings that were done in the clubs of the scene, and he's trying to protect them by transforming them in works of art. And last but not least, this next show that we will have is called Coming Soon, and it's a reflection about the future. The very notion of the future is what has been a religion almost in our societies, always projecting ourselves into what is coming next. But what is coming next is right now in a huge crisis. And this exhibition is trying to focus on what can we do and how do we deal with this very notion of what is ahead of us, when this ahead of us is so complex and so hard to catch. So all of this, we're trying this space, the Fondation Lafayette Anticipations, and its care for whatever is happening in the world is performed through all the possible mediums. I believe that there is no borders to an artwork and what an artwork could be. So we have dance, we have concerts, we have performance, we have conversations, and it's a place that is welcoming any ways of transforming the world we know. This is a place that is inhabited by artists. I was telling you, I believe that art is the future of humanity, if there is any. And it's very, for me, extremely important that all of our facilities are all the time occupied and inhabited by these artists. So we have production facilities, and we're trying to help the artists from the little seed of their dreams until the very production of their works to happen. We also go abroad. We go in other places. This is with Boris Charmatz, choreographer who was proposing a new way of dancing in public spaces, but here in a church. We also have like a public, and for us the public is extremely important. It's a very young public, but it's also a very wide one. We are free admission, and that is extremely important for us, this idea that art can be accessible for everyone and people can come back as much as they want. So this is a place, and I feel that there is no bad ways of encountering art. It's a place where you eat, where you drink, where you sleep, where you can rest, where it's all organized around this very central place that is the Agora. And as the ancient Greeks were putting it, the Agora is a place where everyone is welcome to meet and discuss and foster ideas together. So this place is like literally the heart and the matrix of the foundation. It's a place of solidarity. I'm trying to have no space unused. I'm trying to invite as many associations as possible who are working with giving food to people who are needing it, who are helping people who are in very fragile communities to come and experience the art, who are trying permanently to expand our empathy and ways of being together. Is also a place for unique experiences of art. We know that art can be a place that is very intimidating for many, and I'm trying to open doors in very different ways and for very different experiences. This goes through dance, this goes through drawings, this goes through art therapy. And last but not least, because our engagement for the artists is so important, we also have a collection, and we're trying to keep alive the memory of the present in order to give a chance to the famous future I was talking about. So we are supporting very important new works of artists and trying to promote them and share them with institutions around the world. Voilà. So in short, our institution is really trying to be a place of welcoming and accessibility and hospitality, and trying through the art to perform certain numbers of values that I think are absolutely essential for humanity and its future. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Next, there's a question from Taguchi-san. Thank you very much. I'm looking at this space from Paris from time to time. So when you go inside the entrance, the space is created in a unique way. So I only visit there for the exhibition, but there, more specifically, how do you do to enhance the exchange with the people, maybe through performances, or artists are doing their work for their artworks? How you utilize that space? Is there any specific feature that you can share with us?
Yes, thank you. So the space imagined by Rem Koolhaas was inspired by Cedric Price, an architect who imagined the Fun Palace. The Fun Palace was the idea of an institution that was in permanent metamorphosis, where you would have dance on one floor and then theater on the next floor and then go to see a room, like a cinema room and so on. And so the foundation is really believing in this idea of permanent life and permanent like content that is provided to the public. This is also, we have 2 entrances and 2 exits, so we are a passage, a place of passage that people can cross and that is really trying to be part of their everyday life. And so many neighbors are really annoyed when we close for install because they can't use us as a passageway. We really try to be, with the Agora and the cafe and so on, to be a place where content is always available, but we also have a team of 10 mediators that are always there, and that from the moment you arrive in and we say hello to you to the moment you quit the exhibition, you would have talked to at least 3 people who would have like told you about what's happening in this place and how we can foster conversation about all the topics that are provided by the artist. We really see the artist as the core center of our conversations, and we believe that they help to expand this, and we're trying to. I've been transformed by artists all my life. All my life I had the chance for conversations to be completely changed. I believe that it's my duty to share that with the public. That's what we're trying to do.
Thank you so much. Maybe we can move to the presentation next.
So Rebecca is really good.
Justin Sam.
Time. And I'm going to skip a lot of slides for sure. But first of all, I'm really honored to be here. Thanks, ACK, for inviting me. And being honest, I'm not exactly deeply in the art industry, although I have a lot of friends in the art community. So I'm going to keep it short in some way. So today I'm going to share some art initiatives and projects that related to my work or my company. So I'm Justin, so I have, like everyone else, I have made multiple identities. The primary company I manage is Plan B and A Life, and one is a consultancy for sustainable development. The other one is actually the real estate with the content industry. I also, because my own interest, I invest some F&B and the lifestyle related. So I bought a bar, cocktail bar, quite beer. So I'm going to talk about that, how it's related with the art, like the coffee, just you mentioned. It's not important, just saying that we should see the world in a different way. So that's how I built my company. And basically, because we're a consultancy, so we have our own methodology. So that's how we build up the project that we related, even with our work. So actually, in the first beginning, we're doing the report all the time, ESG report, VLR report, all the other boring things, but we try to make it really interesting. So that in the first beginning, we actually cooperate with some designers to make the report more sexy, people were readable and useful with that. And then sooner or later, like we use that methodology to do the do some strategy for the corporation. Like even we designed a Temple Metro logo actually because they are a client for our consultancy for settlement development. So when they're doing the branding strategy, we actually even help them to do the design. And because of that, so Plan B kind of have a lot of department now and doing all kind of things that we give a solution to our client. And we started to actually cooperate with artists and designer because we do the actually exhibition design now. And then like 2016 that we actually have more people, so we need a bigger space. So, and we think we are the sustainable development consultancy, so we actually want to solve the problem if we want to build a bigger space for our office. So we actually ran an abundant soccer stadium from the city hall and turned into our office and the co-working space. And because of that, it actually solved the vast wasted land actually in the urban, and more people are there. And because abundant soccer stadium, there are so many idle space, so actually give the graffiti designer to actually get in there to do whatever they want. They actually even have an exhibition there from time to time. And then like 5 years ago, we started to cooperate with the local government. And in Taiwan, the local government really believed that the art field and art fair going to solve the problem of the local issue. So actually, that's how we really know the artists now. And and the other, as I mentioned, so we also use that methodology to actually do the bar and something. So I'm going to do the examples very specific to how we actually collaborate with artists and designers. So this is a playground. You know, in Asia, we have so many parks in the city. And normally it's actually a plastic playground, but it's not really inspiring kids to play around. So we started to design it, and we actually use modular system to do that. So if the structure of the neighborhood change, so we can actually invite different artists and designers to do that. So it's no longer a park or a playground. It's actually an open space for people that really can engage in the urban or in the alley. So actually we do that in different. Some of the big art festival in Taipei, we let them to use that space, use the structure to different artwork inside to fit in the neighborhood. And this one is actually one of the remote city in Taiwan, in the east of Taiwan. It's so hard to get there, but because of that, they have so beautiful mountains and ocean all the time. And the local government is really worried about the lack of the young generation because they're going out for looking for more opportunity for their job. But we asked them that, do we need more young resident, or should we build up the city that inspires young generation in Taiwan want to get there to be inspired? So we started to invite the young artists and designer to make them climbing the mountain like 4 days, 3 nights, killing them actually because they don't really sleep in the nighttime. So it's really smoking all the time. So actually it's killing them, and drifting on the ocean like 5 days, 4 nights. But they're going to create the artwork based on the experience they have. So they're going to leave the artwork in the local and then build up the art fair field actually later. So these artists actually put a lot of artwork on it and all the experience on the SNS. So over the years, Taitung, I would say, is now is for young generation in Taiwan, really looking forward to go every year actually. And now it's more music festival, the art field, and such a thing like that. And this is one of the bars I have. It's called Draftland. It's actually cocktails on tap, so it's a tap system. Anyway, it's come out as a cocktail. So because of my friends, so we started to cooperate with Taipei Dangdai and Art Taipei because art fair in Taiwan, and they always have a welcome party and the after party there. But since like pandemic, we started to actually insulate artwork inside actually, and so when people drinking the cocktail, they actually can enjoy the artwork together. I even asked our team, the bartender, to cooperate with the artists to create a drink with them actually. And because of that, so 2 years ago, we started a project by ourselves that some young and unknown artists, no gallery representing them, but we let them to give the proposal to us and use the space to do the exhibition. But because some art circle people really come to drink, so they can get more attention because of that. So that's how we're doing all the time. And so, but back to the 10 years, so we started to think about what is our lifestyle. So 4 years ago, we started a new company. It's called A-Live. It's a real estate company with the content. So basically, space container of life, right? So space is meaning nothing. People put something inside, become the place. It means a lot of things. So basically, we're just doing the rental living space and working space, but the rental fee and we already combine with the lifestyle. Like if you want to, if you invest a play or something, so they don't need to worry about the selling of the tickets because we're ready to put the tickets in the rental fee, so no matter what, they have to go. So actually, we encourage a lot of people to enjoy the lifestyle they never used to be. So it's basically, we do a lot of things like that, and back to the days. So we have 25 units, so we have 25 buildings basically, and there's about like 800 resident members, about 400 co-working space members, about 4,000 members. So that's how we encourage in the art and culture stuff like that. So also we just expand to Tokyo now. So we have a building here in Shibuya. It's like a couple of days ago, a week ago, we actually just cooperated with a Taiwanese recycling glass company, and we actually invite some artists and the craftsmen to do the design, to do the exchange program there in the building. And also, actually, we, in our building of the residential, we cooperate with a company named Frame. They do the screen for the digital art. So our actually resident members can really use their budget to buy the art to change their L all the time with the art inside. And one project we cooperate with the other two companies in Taiwan that also in the county, in the remote county, we let the artists to really, like artist resident, to do the project there and leave the project in the local with that. So yeah, so basically we call them A-Life, we do a lot of data. Even we show to the artists that we cooperate to tell them what they really want, what they're looking for that, and really making people that really enjoy it with the space, with the art, and we can change the space all the time by the art with that. Yeah, so very shortly, yeah, speaking shortly. Thank you.
はい、ありがとうございます。何か質問ありますか？
Thank you very much. Any questions?
If you have short question or something. To Justin.
I was wondering about which artists you're working with and how do you choose them, and does their commission always have to do with the public?
So actually, now we only cooperate with the Taiwanese local young artists, and I don't really choose them. I ask the consultant and the gallery that we really close to ask him to give the list or suggest which one we should really cooperate with. And most of the time that they really do a lot of research with the community, and then they build up the artwork based on that. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We had two presentations. We had presentations about overseas, outside of Japan, and now we are going to hear from Japanese presentations, starting from Kikuchi-san. Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you, everyone. They talked about institutions and local people, and also the role of the institutions or facilities or programs. What I'm going to talk about is, as an artist, how we can build communities or how we can build cities. Today, I want to focus on beans product. This is based in Fukushima, where we had nuclear power plant incident. Because of that incident, people couldn't go back to their own hometown. So I want to talk about what we are doing in that particular city. What I value the most is when people meet people, we can create art. And that kind of art is inevitable in cities or communities. Let me change my seat to have a better view of the screen. I think you know who I am. I was very much influenced by Onoyoko. In 2004, I reproduced the cut piece. Now we are living in the world, many wars going on. So once again, we have to think about how we should behave, what we should do. And when I did the cut piece, in the relationship between the scissors and my body, I saw the microcosm of the world. This is what I do. These old pictures, as you may know, I was very much influenced by this art. We know that ices melt down, but still we use the ices, and we can learn from this process in building cities, communities. What we can do with art for the community, that's the major question I want to answer. On the other hand, in the museums, I am doing programs to nurture children, and for children who are not interested in art at all, we want them to raise their interest about their communities where they are living in. We had East Japan earthquake in 2011, and that's when I came back to Japan, and I started Invisible with my current partner. My art is a way of expression, and art is my medium or a tool to visualize the invisible society. The other thing I'm trying to do is I want to solve or address small problems in our daily lives rather than dealing with big problems the society is dealing with. That's the basis of my projects. As I mentioned, this is the map of Japan. The great earthquake in eastern Japan brought me back to Japan. So let me talk about my projects in this community which suffered from the earthquake. In 2018, starting from 2017, they had to think about what they have to do to reopen the city. I became the leader of the committee to think about how to rebuild schools. Schools are in every community. So as we rebuild schools, we had to think about how we can build schools, because we didn't know if many people are coming back to this city polluted by the radiation. So rather than making a regular school, I wanted to create a space where people's knowledge can be accumulated. This is the entrance ceremony of this school. All the people welcomed children, people from TEPCO and people from the city office, and many of them, most of them, are single male people. For children, it's very important for them to be surrounded many kinds of people, many types of people. So what we could do in the school and what we can do in the society, we had to think about those kind of things in rebuilding this city. So that's what PIN's project is about. S stand for school and also society. What we did in this school was that artists lived in this school as a student, as one of the students. What we are requesting to those artists is to come to visit the school on a regular basis. We requested artists to come to visit the school on a regular basis, like once a month, and then create art pieces so that they can put or decorate the school. Like in this picture, this artist couldn't go to school when he was a child. And we see those children learning from this artist artists also have to be in classes. So he was in classes of math and Japanese and everything.
So this is the day when he visited for the first time, and everybody's thinking how he is going to spend the days. And when there was a break, someone came out and say that why not clean and polish the table, and then last day why not have proposing the toast of orange juice. So the small simple things repeated, and at the end of the day the community was formed. And this is a last party. All the regional people, community people got together and they heard the presentations. And it's very rare to see all the residents at the same time, at the same place. So now you see, the real existence of a community was witnessed. And starting from 2019, Kamawakira, he's a painter, the artist, and that Miyajima Tatsuo also came there as a transfer student. And Otomo-san, as a musician, he actually created the school song. And not able to remembering the artist's name, this boy wrote the name on the arm, the designers who participated in last year's project, and there's a space for artists can work on their own. And Chikaraishi-san is here today. Chikaraishi Saki-san is here with us as a transfer student. Let me just go through quickly. So whatever the activities in school, why it is such a vital element for the connection of the community with the communities. Whatever that is being experienced in school, the children talk at home, and then the parents talk with other child parents. So through the words of mouth, the communities, in a sense, is expanding. And also on the offshore space, there are many residences for the artists to be active. Now, the collaboration is extremely important for the communities to go through changes, not this silo style, but how we're going to have a cross-sectional activities. Like Vivian Sato, she is an artist. It just so happened that she just visited, and it just so happened that she showed her artwork to the student, the girl right here in the photo, at the some health care room. I'm sure there was such impact. And then also this place is affected by tsunami as well as the bursting out of this atomic facility. So basically through the theological activities, what can be done? What is now? We are doing things, trials and errors. What is happening that has to be explored in our activities? We just take a look at what's really happening right now. So what is art? ACK, when we visit them, things are visually available. Some are beautiful. But once again, communication has to be valued. So what it comes to me, in terms of a community making, it is to go on a journey to know the unknown with a will so that things can be visualized, and then that's where the art comes in. So finally, if I may wrap up, while paying attention to the small daily insights and changes, there is a sense of a community beyond learning, relearning, through co-nurturing, I would say, intellectual and emotional exchanges, which involves mutual learning across generations, because community is always rolling out, it's always facing changes. That is premise, and every time you have to think about what's best for the community. Thank you very much. This concludes my presentation. Thank you very much. In the presentation just made, artists are invited, and then the classes, curriculums are explored with the existence of artists, and actually the buildings are being built in this project. But my question is how the artists are selected, from what kind of a perspective, and then how long this program is going to last. Thank you very much. Once you enter into this project, up until the graduation that you claim you're going to be there, you'll be able to visit the school. But we would say, since they are busy, within the first year, they need to come to the school on a regular basis and make sure to leave their artwork at the end. There are 6 of them here in the school now. So the selection criteria, not the fame or status. It's not the reputation that we often hear. As the person, what sort of will or motivation they have. So we have an interview, we have a discussion, and if that artist has any intention of creating a community, creating the society, you start to sense that in a conversation. So, you know, the communication is valued, and so we would like to select a person who value the communication with others and being able to come and visit the school on a regular basis. Do they have any commitment or not? We like to create the place so that they are attracted to come. Thank you very much. I'll move on to the next presenter, Taguchi-san. So you have a very interesting project. So would you please begin your presentation? I am Taguchi. Very nice to see you. Well, maybe I come out and do the presentation, maybe different from our previous speakers. Taguchi art collection started from my father's generation. That is a contemporary art collection, and I'm in charge now. Misumi Group is a company which founded by my father for the machinery parts. And still today, we are adding new artworks and displaying artworks different places. The policy is that we do not build any museums. We are going to collect the artworks. That's what we focus most on, collection. So we don't have any original fixed space. In order to exhibit the workplace, we find out any public place owned by others. So we bring the artwork that we would like to display and then hold the exhibitions. So at the museums, the public museums, we do this project starting from 1990. But actually, the museum exhibition was held for the first time in 2011. And then so far, we used 14 different sites for our exhibitions. Gunma Prefectural Museum of Modern Art and Shimonoseki in the west side of Japan. Rather small town, but a long-standing history, this museum. And then also Kadokawa Musashi no Museum. Kadokawa Culture Museum. Kadokawa is famous for the creation of magazines, films, books, media business, mega company. So we use their museum to try to invite the people who are not visiting museums so much. We come up with this unique place. In the black cube, we had these work pieces, and some explanation for each work place can be seen in the wall, the black wall. And if you move around, you as if moving around some unique space. So we are challenging always something new.
As I mentioned, this is just a collection without any physical museum. So what we can do is to show our collection to the people. So we did series of exhibitions. As we mentioned, we mainly loan our collection to museums because there is a sad aspect of Japanese museum history, because there are many museums in Japan and there are many renowned architects who designed those museums. However, after the burst of the bubble economy in 1990s, all those museums haven't been able to have much budget. In total, there are about 450 or 500 museums nationwide in Japan, but museums who are dealing with contemporary arts are much less. And many of them don't have rich collection of contemporary art. Therefore, rather than having physical museums, we want to provide contents to them. That's our mission, to loan our collection to those museums. We focus on museums outside of Tokyo. Here is a Japanese map, including rural or local areas. We are doing exhibitions. And it's not a traveling show. We don't do the same show at many museums. Rather, we talk to curators of each museum and discuss what kind of contents is suited or appropriate for each local area. Also, we look at the space where we exhibit the collection to select our collection, the pieces we show. We focus on the areas where people don't have much access to contemporary art. In Tokyo, there are many museums and galleries, and people have more access to contemporary arts. However, in local areas, people don't have much access, so we want to provide them opportunities to have access to contemporary arts. And also, having exhibition of contemporary art is different from conventional or classical arts because the know-how is different. So I think it's a very good learning experience for museum staff as well. For example, this is a project in 2014. This is an exhibition in Matsumoto City. In this program, we created the exhibition together with local children. We showed the images of those contents, the pieces. We brought those images to all the schools in Matsumoto City. There were 20 schools in total, and children voted which one they wanted to see. And then we also showed the voting result of each school. And the title of the exhibition was also decided by voting by children. And the name of the exhibition, the title of the exhibition was Tag Exhibition, and that was selected by children. And this is something we can do only because we have collection. If you have to loan pieces from many museums, it's difficult to do because you don't know which one would be selected by voting. So this is what we can do because we have rich collection. And these are the feedbacks from children. And this child said the film was very good. And that was film which looks very difficult to understand for children, but this child actually liked this piece, this film, and I was very impressed. Another pillar of activity is delivery museum, delivery project. We provide 10 to 20 pieces for schools and do an exhibition for just one day using gymnasia or also a big room of school. Why it's one day? Because if our collection stay overnight, we have to worry about the security. That's why we spend only one day with those collection at each school. The characteristic of those museums is that those are the pieces we usually exhibit at museums, and children can enjoy the pieces while they are having dialogue, because we sent out volunteer curators together with the pieces, and those volunteers are standing alongside the pieces so that they can have dialogue with children. And there are questions on the wall about those pieces so that children can deepen their understanding about those pieces. And not only they have fun by enjoying the pieces, we also provide expert explanation to children. The reason why we started this program is that even if you go to local museums, even if we wanted to show those pieces to children, those children need to be accompanied by their parents at museums. So if parents are not interested in contemporary arts, they wouldn't take their children to museums for contemporary arts. That's why we decided to bring those pieces to schools to provide access to contemporary art for children. And at school, there may be classes where children create arts on their own. However, there are no classes in Japan to teach children how to appreciate art. But as a collector, I think it's very important to make people have discerning eyes to make the art market more active, and it's very important for children to learn how to appreciate arts. That's why I started this program. And by sending those pieces, teachers and also parents come to see the pieces, and that raises the interest amongst the adults in the local community about contemporary arts. Because in Japan, we don't have much government budget for art. Therefore, we want to give more opportunities for children and also adults to have access to art. And these are art cards we created because we want to reach people in their homes as well. We collected the pieces from our collection and created cards. As you can see on the screen, for example, this asks what kind of sound do you hear, or what kind of dream did you have at night. So you can use those cards to ask questions about the art children saw. And maybe you can use this card about drinks. In this card, people may ask questions about what kind of taste did you have after seeing this art. And children may answer like, this is this tasted like soda or this tasted like coffee. Even without instructor, by using those cards, parents and children can play with arts. That was the idea of those cards.
And so before you going to see the real exhibition at the museum, if you use this card in the play, when they encounter the actual real artwork, I think the senses are going to be so up to the point of receiving from the actual artwork at the museum. So we collect the artworks, and what can we do? We do the micro level activities, and we would like to share the artworks as much as possible with as many people as possible. So we work together with the museums and school teachers. And another thing that we value is a quality. Make sure to have the high level of a quality. And so the artwork which is connected with the world, we make sure to always include such artwork in our collection. And talking about the challenges into the future, finance platform must be enhanced. We need to have a resource such as volunteers. There are many challenges, as you can see, but we would like to incorporate artists, curators, you name them. We need all the help. And all the activities that we have done in different places, how are we going to draw the future from these activities? So the museums, for example, once we do the museum exhibition, some museum request us to do the same kind of exhibition for the next round, how that collaboration can be enhanced, and also those people support us, always giving us the feedback after the exhibition we conduct. We would like to continuously enhance those collaboration. And at the end of the day, we would like to raise awareness of the role of museums and museum collections in the community, how much benefit you can have. So this is just one role model that we are able to do. So this is the activities, basically. And finally, art is a window to the world. This is my belief. In order to connect with the world, we would like to connect art and society through the act of appreciating artworks. Connecting art and society through the act of appreciating artworks. That's how I understand my work. Well, thank you very much. We wanted to have a discussion after all these presentations, but I'm afraid we only have 5 minutes to go. Okay, so we would like to entertain questions from the floor. Any questions from the floor? Anyone, please.
Hopefully this is translated. So I'm a social worker working in Wales, looking at a therapeutic residential community with the view of starting up an art and ceramics studio and other kind of initiatives that are kind of helping break down some stigma. I was thinking a little bit about resistance in communities, because certainly other similar projects in England in the past have come up with like a lot of stigma and discrimination in relation to the patients and the people that I care for. So I was just wondering about what is the panel's experience of that, whether, hopefully you haven't had any, but I'm just wondering how maybe how people might have some ideas about coming around and helping the community who may feel perhaps initially a bit fearful or worried about new projects. Yeah.
Thank you for your question.
Hey.
Thank you for your question, because this is a question I ask myself every day. It seems to be clear for all of us that art is essential. I feel that for many communities it is not, because they have to deal with much more urgent and pressing topics. Although I'm convinced, as Guattari was putting it, that imagination is the beginning of the human's freedom, and that you need to transform the perspectives you have on the world to be able to free yourself and transform eventually your condition and the one you experience. And what I'm working on at the moment with the artist Nail Beloufa, it's an artist who comes from Algeria and France. And when I invited him for next summer, he said, my project will be to invite, actually not to invite, to work with 40 young people who live in the suburbs of Paris in an area that is called Clichy-sous-Bois, and that is very well known for its violence, for its extreme precariousness, and for the constant discrimination that is done about its population, that is, which is, I'm not going to ask them to do art, I'm not going to ask them to transform into artists, I'm going to put all of the exhibition budget, all of the productions, all of the teams know-how, all of the energy at their service. And we are going to ask them, what would you do if you were given everything? And so now I'm working with a team of 20 people from Lafayette Anticipations, from his studio, from different institutions, and we're asking the kids, what are your views on a new fun fair? What would a fun fair be if you were given all of these tools? And what we do is we give them the possibility to dream again when they experience lives where they are not usually able to dream about anything. And the whole foundation will be transformed into a fun fair where every objects that we don't call artworks, and we don't call them artists, but each of these objects will be their propositions on this deregulated, transformed, or idealized world that they want to share with us. So we're trying not to convince them about how art is important, but we're trying to be transformed by their vision of what art can be. Voilà.
So from my part, the title.
Shortly.
Yeah. So from my part, like Rebecca said, that we don't convince the local, because local don't care about the art when we do the remote counting. But when people come, it's good for the local business, and they will be really happy. And for the kids, the art is already awareness to join the community together. So kids always join them, and the parents will be really happy with it. And some of the kids really inspired, but maybe not become the artists, but they have different inspiration, like you say. They dream more, and I think it's always about a benefit that can get from that, and they will care about that. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Just very quickly,
So not maybe the word art, but I'm trying to talk about art, not using the word art. That's what I do. And another thing that I do, I have two worlds in a way. So not pushing art to the community. That's really the challenge, actually. But if you are the receiver, for example, if you are the people in the community, what is the art to be shared? And then there has to be a communication in between. So the media art should be in place somehow so that we can communicate with each other. So in our project, those are serious issues are not being seen yet, to be honest. But of course, even you take a look at the children in school, some are not able to come to school because of the various reasons, such as mental issues. There are many actually there in the school nowadays. And for them as well, teachers are working very hard, but having problems. But working together with them, create maybe a better place for them. Maybe slightly we are able to do that because there are people who are not coming to schools. But now, on the day of our exhibition in school, there are time when all the students are not there anymore, like lunch break. And then the children who are confined in a school at home visit to the school and enjoy the artwork there in the collection in school during the lunch break. It's a micro level care activities, but that's maybe how I can make a contribution through the art, for helping out the students. So I would like to do more to help out. I actually used to be the social worker working for the hospital before, by the way. Well, thank you very much. We wish to have more time, but time has come.
So I would like to conclude this talk. Thank you very much for all the panelists for your very inspiring presentations. Please give a big hand to the panelists. Thank you.